どこ?
Before watching Glasslip, I decided to look at the scores on Hummingbird, which probably wasn't the best idea to begin with. What shocked me was that this series had a worse average score compared to Rail Wars and the recently aired series Chaos Dragon. Now I can finally put my thoughts on this series as well, and boy oh boy do I have a few thoughts on this one. What's up guys, it's Kent from Spartan Media Reviews, here to review the anime Glasslip. Does this anime deserve a watch? Let's find out. I really hate ripping apart series because I know people work really hard on what they love, and I probably couldn't do much better. But with that said, I know that I could write a better story compared to this. That much I can 100% confirm. The story, if you want to call it that, of Glasslip revolves around a group of friends and their days together. However, something mysterious lives inside a couple of the friends, giving them powers of foresight. If you wanted any explanation as to why they have these powers or what they can do with them, get in line, as there is no explanation whatsoever. The story is 100% literal slice of life. It is also described as a romance series, but aside from the few confessions, there is no other substance. The story of Glasslip is one big jumbled mess. At first I thought people were too hard on the story, as nothing really happens in the first 3/4 of the series. I can understand people finding the show to be boring and very slow, but it wasn't worse than other series in my opinion. Oh, how I wish I were right. Episodes 12 and 13 of Glasslip are some of the worst episodes that I have seen in terms of writing, up there with Mars of Destruction and episode 7 of Strike Witches Season 2. The slice of life elements didn't even bother me, as I found this aspect to be a different change of pace from a normal series, but when they incorporated future sight and alternative world lines along with a lackluster romance, you cannot defend any of these aspects. I feel like the writers of the show started throwing darts at a bunch of concepts that could go along with the bland slice of life setting, and then thought they struck gold when they hit the supernatural phenomena paper. Going into more detail on the romantic aspects of things, the only aspect that truly develops is the romance of some of our supporting characters, but that's even pushing it. When our characters confess to each other, you would think that you would get a response to the question at some point, right? Nope. They just continue their journey like nothing ever happened before. I know I am being really hard on this show, but there is no way that any aspect of this story is good. I would rather watch the endless aid of Haruhi Suzumiya 8 times in a row than watch this series again. What sets Glasslip apart from series like Rail Wars is that Rail Wars is actually fun and enjoyable to watch. Glasslip is bland in every sense of the word. Oh boy. The characters in this show are truly high school students thinking about the future for all the wrong reasons. To say that the characters are underdeveloped is a true understatement. If you thought the characters in Eld Noah Zero were bad, then wait till you watch this show. Our main male character, Kakeru Okikura, is the black-haired Inaho, featuring the exact same personality and expressions. Aside from the last 2 episodes, I feel like I watched an animated sequence of an ordinary person's life. One day we see them go to the mountains, the next they're at a summer camp or working at their family's business. I know that the slice of life genre is supposed to showcase this, but at least make it somewhat enjoyable. With our characters being bland, you really get no appeal whatsoever. I can finally talk about something redeeming in the show. The animation in Glasslip is actually very appealing. While some aspects of the show are somewhat poorly done, the majority looks great. The setting and character designs work well together to create a cohesive scene. The color palette used in the show is also very bright, keeping the emotions high in our characters. Overall, this is the best aspect of the show. Glasslip's soundtrack is pretty standard. The background tracks worked well with the scenes provided, and both the opening and ending sounded nice in my opinion as well. The voice acting was also well done, however I do wish that there was a little more emotion, but considering that the characters are bland, you can't do much with this aspect. Overall, the soundtrack was okay, but nothing really stood out from other series. Glasslip, the show with a pretty face but no personality at all. Glasslip, the show where you are mad at a person because they did something bad to you in a dream, but it never happened to begin with. Glasslip, the show that screams too deep for me, without even explaining anything at all. These ideas are just the tip of the iceberg when I think of this show. If anyone recommends you this series, run away. Glasslip is a very special type of series, but for all the wrong reasons. I was disappointed when Rail Wars wasn't as good as what I expected. I was disappointed when Charlotte finished its series so poorly. I was disappointed when Gangster never finished any of its plot points they introduced later on in the series. I was disappointed when Tokyo Ghoul and Akame ga Kill never lived up to the hype they received. Disappointment is the last word that comes to mind when finishing this show. I cannot fathom the idea that people thought this was good enough to release to the public. At least shows like Rail Wars, Absolute Duo, Sky Wizards, and World Break are enjoyable despite having more flaws than positives. Glasslip is the true definition of trash. You can put an air freshener on it to make it smell better, but trash is still trash. What boggles my mind even more is that this series was and is still licensed by Sentai Filmworks, while better series like Zoid's Chaotic Century and Chromity High School are nowhere to be found. Overall, if you want a good sleeping aid, Glasslip is the right choice for you. Spartan Media Reviews gives Glasslip a 1 out of 10, and for the first time ever, a no recommendation. If you are still interested in watching this series, A, what is wrong with you, and B, you can check it out for free over on Crunchyroll. Now, what are your thoughts on Glasslip? Comment below. If you enjoyed this review, which you probably didn't, hit that like button. I would really appreciate it. You can also subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I would really appreciate that as well. Follow me on Twitter and Hummingbird to keep up to date with the current things that I'm doing. And with all that said, I will catch you guys in my next review. Thank you for watching.